Arresting TV perps by day, begging bartenders not to be cut off by night. They may take down criminals on the show, but the cast of Blue Bloods have had some pretty big personal problems to deal with in the real world. Tom Selleck found himself in hot water in 2015 after reportedly stealing 1.4 million gallons of cold water during California's biggest drought in recorded history. In one of the most unusual lawsuits filed against a celebrity, the actor was accused of the misdemeanor by the Callejas Municipal Water District and subsequently taken to court.
It's really about doing the right thing and preserving our water supply for our users.
Selleck eventually agreed to pay $21,000 for the amount of H2O he allegedly took for his 60-acre avocado farm. The actor reportedly used a tanker truck to collect water from a fire hydrant in Callejas, an area which he doesn't live in, over a dozen times across a 2-year period. The former Magnum PI actor's secret was ironically discovered by a private investigator. In 1991, and at the height of New Kids on the Block's success, Donnie Wahlberg decided to indulge in some good old reckless rock and roll behavior. Unfortunately for the singer and Blue Blood star, it nearly resulted in a 20-year prison sentence. The drama began when Wahlberg allegedly decided to pour some vodka on the 9th-floor hallway of Louisville's Seelbach Hotel before adding some fire to the mix. Although such foolishness didn't cause any injury or significant damage, the star still found himself on a first-degree arson charge. This was later reduced to criminal mischief, and after completing his community service, officials decided to dismiss charges completely. At the court hearing, Wahlberg expressed remorse for his conduct, saying, "I would like to apologize. I definitely accept responsibility for my actions in this very unfortunate incident." The multi-talent also agreed to front a series of public service videos warning against the dangers of drunk driving, substance abuse, and, of course, playing with fire. Just weeks after appearing in the 10th season of Blue Bloods, Eric Barrier found himself on the wrong side of the law. Best known for his work as one half of pioneering hip-hop duo Eric B. and Rakim, Barrier ended up spending 2 weeks in jail. In 2002, Barrier pleaded guilty to both resisting arrest and aggravated assault for an incident that had taken place in New Jersey's Ridgefield Park the year previously. But on the advice of his attorney, Paul Berggren, the rapper didn't show up for his sentencing, and a bench warrant was subsequently issued for his arrest. Berggren has since been convicted of several serious offenses, including homicide.
The legal advice given to Eric back in 2001, for want of a better word, was impolitic.
This only came to light again in 2019 during a questioning from Vermont State Police. Barrier was then jailed for 2 weeks before being released and placed on a year's probation, a significant reduction from the 364 days in prison he'd been sentenced to 17 years earlier. In 2006, John Ventimiglia, who played New York City's police chief in the early seasons of Blue Bloods, was charged with several offenses after he was spotted driving erratically on the streets of Brooklyn. Not only did the actor's blood alcohol level test well above the legal limit when stopped by police, but a Ziploc bag in his possession was discovered to have cocaine residue. The New Yorker was later given a $500 fine and a 90-day suspension of his license, although thanks to a plea deal, his drug charge was dropped. This wasn't the first time that Ventimiglia found himself in legal trouble either. 5 years earlier, the star was sued by the Brown Bunny director Vincent Gallo for assault and battery, with the New York Supreme Court ruling in favor of the provocative director. It's fair to say that Lorraine Bracco and Harvey Keitel didn't end their relationship amicably. In fact, after splitting up in 1992, the actor spent most of the decade in a bitter custody battle over their daughter Stella. Both parties hurled accusations of drug abuse at each other. Then, after discovering that Bracco's new husband, Edward James Olmos, had previously faced an allegation of molesting a 14-year-old girl, Keitel claimed that the pair had attempted a cover-up. Bracco, who played Mayor Margaret Dutton for 5 episodes of Blue Bloods, managed to maintain custody, but the lengthy court battle, which reportedly cost her $2 million, ultimately led her to bankruptcy and severely impacted her mental health. In a 2006 interview with The Ledger, she said, "David Chase says depression is anger not dealt with. I think I was very angry with Harvey over the custody battle. I just didn't know where to go with it." In 2021, Isaiah Stokes, who played 2 separate characters 3 years apart on Blue Bloods, was arrested for the homicide of a New York man named Tyrone Jones. The actor, who first appeared as a perp in the procedural in 2012 before returning in 2015 as a gang leader, was subsequently charged with second-degree murder and 2 second-degree criminal weapon possession counts. Stokes is still awaiting trial after having spent 3 years at Rikers Island. In an interview with the Daily Mail, the actor professed his innocence and held out hope that he'd follow in the footsteps of other wrongly imprisoned figures like Snoop Dogg and Nelson Mandela. The actor also blamed ineffective counsel for the lengthy delay. Blue Bloods might not be the first thing you associate with Hollywood legend Whoopi Goldberg, but the Academy Award winner did appear on the crime procedural for 3 episodes across the second half of the 2010s as City Council Speaker Regina Thomas. While she may have played an upstanding member of society in the show, the actor's early years were plagued by substance abuse issues. In fact, during a 2009 interview with The Telegraph, Goldberg revealed that she was once a heroin addict, saying, "I was young, homeless, and addicted to heroin. I dropped out of high school and into drugs. Simple as that. And when I got clean, I was convinced I wanted to be an actor." This isn't the only time that Goldberg has spoken about her dark past. While discussing Charlie Sheen's decision to keep filming 2.5 Men instead of heading for rehab, Goldberg told the View panel that she could relate. "I was a functioning drug addict. I showed up for work because I knew a lot of people would be out of work and I wouldn't get a check that I needed to buy my drugs." Lou Diamond Phillips' reputation was undoubtedly tarnished in 2006 when he pleaded no contest to a domestic battery charge involving his future wife Yvonne Boismere. Phillips was said to have dragged Boismere around their shared home, injuring both of her knees in the process. The actor, who appeared in 4 episodes of Blue Bloods as a drug cartel leader, was subsequently sentenced to 200 hours of community service and a year's domestic violence counseling. This wasn't the last time that the Golden Globe nominee would find himself in trouble with the law, though. In 2017, Phillips was charged with reckless driving after a bizarre incident in which he approached a police officer for directions while under the influence. The La Bamba star was subsequently given a 2-year probation sentence and ordered to wear an alcohol monitoring device, refrain from visiting any drinking establishments, and attend a DWI education program. Turns out that Eric B. isn't the only hip-hop legend to have graced Blue Bloods. Wu-Tang Clan member Method Man also popped up in the police procedural on 3 occasions as gang leader Mario Hunt. Like his character, the man born Clifford Smith Jr. has also had his fair share of troubles with the law in real life. In 2007, Method Man was charged with various drug offenses after a significant amount of marijuana was found in his vehicle in New York. But his most serious crime, and one that could have landed him some major jail time, was discovered 2 years later. After failing to pay the correct amount on his income taxes between 2004 and 2007, Method Man was charged with tax evasion. After pleading guilty to the offense, the Grammy Award winner was sentenced to a fine of $106,000 and a conditional discharge. Daniel Donovan, a Richmond County District Attorney, said of the sentence, "Whether you are a celebrity or an average Joe, you will be investigated, arrested, and prosecuted." In 2012, actor Jennifer Esposito opened up a gluten-free bakery in New York after being diagnosed with celiac disease.
Food was killing me, literally. The wrong food. Now I have the right food, and it's healed me.
Unfortunately, within just 4 years, Jennifer's Way Bakery found itself at the center of a $43 million lawsuit. Esposito, who played Detective Jackie Curatola on Blue Bloods, was accused by her investors, including then-husband Louis Dowler, of bringing the company into disrepute. Esposito claimed that she wasn't in control of the commercial operation of the bakery and no longer supported the products being sold there. There were also allegations that Esposito redirected anyone trying to access the bakery's website to her own personal site, and court documents claimed that she was promoting a sense of fear about the bakery's products. Stacy Keach appeared in 3 episodes of Blue Bloods as Archbishop Kevin Kearns. Ironically, the Hollywood veteran had forged a strong connection with God himself several decades earlier, albeit in the most unlikely of circumstances. Indeed, in the mid-1980s, Keach was sentenced to a 6-month stint in Reading Prison after he was caught smuggling 1.3 ounces of cocaine into Britain at Heathrow Airport via 2 cans of shaving foam. Although the actor would later describe this period as the low point of his life, he told the Washington Post after his release that it was also responsible for helping him to get clean and rediscover his faith. In another interview with Fox News, Keach further acknowledged that his time behind bars served him well, saying, "I think subconsciously I was hoping to get caught. I really think it was such a stupid move. I really believe that. As it turns out, looking back, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It saved my life, actually." Michael Imperioli will perhaps always be best known for playing Tony's drug-addicted protege, Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos, and the actor who also showed up in 3 episodes of Blue Bloods as New York Attorney General Robert Lewis didn't have to dig too deep to inhabit the character's state of mind. In 2023, Imperioli admitted to the Times that he too had once had a substance abuse problem, albeit with cocaine rather than heroin. He explained, "I spent my 20s just trying to have a career, and when finally it happened, I was married, kids, all that stuff, and had satisfying work, but I was also abusing drugs and alcohol to a point where it felt destructive." Imperioli insisted that he never let his drug habit affect his work and that he eventually got clean after going on a journey of self-discovery and finding Buddhism, saying, "Did Buddhism take me out of the abusive stuff? Yes, but it was also a desire to find something that regenerates your creativity and the way you engage with the world, whereas drug and alcohol abuse diminishes it." During a candid 2022 appearance on the podcast Women on Top, Vanessa Ray revealed that she'd once had a problem with alcohol, which only started when she landed a role on Blue Bloods. Ray claimed that she previously consumed no more than 3 drinks a year, but with far more time on her hands now that she was no longer busy looking for work, the actress started partying a little too hard. And the fact that she was living apart from her husband didn't help matters either. Ray opened up about everything from the impact her alcohol intake had on her marriage to the time she ended up in tears after being denied service at one particular bar.
I would, go to a bar and be the girl crying at the bar that you cut me off and you're not understanding me.
After starting to drink pretty much every day, the star decided it was time to get some help.